Silence. Shh.
Okay, first, we assume that everything we see, hear, feel, smell, and touch is real. That the world around us is exactly as it seems, which is a fairly safe assumption. It's generally accepted throughout the world. Second, we assume that this podium, your desks, any other solid object in the world, is in fact solid. And if I were to touch it, or if I were to lean against this podium, it would stay still, it wouldn't move. I mean, it would move, but it would still be a solid object. In both of these, we are wrong. Nothing is real. I can say this because I myself am considered to be an expert after many hours and weeks of extensive research. And my brother has also done extensive research into the topic. But like I said, our first assumption, everything we see, smell, taste, touch, etc., is real. But according to Peter Russell, that we are wrong. That the way our senses perceive the world around us is not correct. Because what happens is our eyes take a picture upside down and backwards and send that message to our brain. Now, I don't know about you, but when I look at the world, it's right side up and forward. Because what happens is the brain processes this picture in a way that people can understand and sends it back to our eyes. So, we do not experience the world. No person has ever experienced the world. We receive the information third hand. And the brain is not always truthful. Oftentimes it makes minor changes, such as when you were a child and you thought you saw a monster in your closet. It was really just a jacket sticking out, or a pair of shoes. Or sometimes it makes major changes, such as when people use hallucinogenic drugs. And our second assumption, this podium and solid objects are solid, again, Peter Russell tells us we are wrong. If I were to hit this table, this podium, or even touch it, it actually bounces away from my hand. At the exact same velocity at which I touch this podium, it will retract from my hand and come back and hit it again. This is the case with all objects, but it happens so quickly that we cannot perceive it as it occurs. We cannot perceive it at all. So everything's alive, but that doesn't mean it isn't real. However, this is where things start to get interesting. When we dream, our mind takes memories, images that we've seen in the past, people, smells, tastes, and reuses them. It creates images, fake images, from memories. And we believe this to be real, until, of course, in the morning when we wake up and realize it is not real. Or is it? The exact same thing happens during the day when we sleep, as when we sleep. At night, our brain creates images, and we see them directly. However, during the day, it also creates images, except we do not perceive them directly. We perceive them third hand, which means that the false worlds created in our dreams are more real than reality. So, nothing's real. But let's take it a step further. I have studied quantum physics, which is a pretty dense topic, and one of the main principles behind quantum physics is the quantum enigma, which, according to Frederick Kurt, I think, is the basis for the modern world economy. Now, the quantum enigma is a theory that states no object can truly and fully exist until it has been observed. And this is, keep in mind, this is only a theory. It cannot be proven, nor can it be disproven, because if anyone were to make a test, then once the test was observed, it would be ruined, because it would have been observed, and the object would come into existence. Many of you are probably familiar with a similar theory, Schrodinger's cat. If you put a cat into a box with poison, the cat would die. However, we do not know the cat would die, and it would not die until we open the box and observe it is dead. So, basically, we cannot observe the world, and the world cannot exist until observed, and therefore, the world cannot exist. Now, when I initially wrote this speech, people said that it was a bad idea, that it would make my class, you, question yourself. It could potentially cause people to become depressed. However, I do not believe this to be the case. You are all very smart people. My intention in writing the speech was to make you think. generation is often seen as obese. It's often called the lost generation. And all too many times I have found this to be true. So, instead of sitting around being obese, go and think. Be like Schrodinger. Make a theory. Prove me right, or prove me wrong. Or don't. What does it matter? Not like it